Hey there nation, welcome to the show. We help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and today is another edition of Hobby Side Videos. On today's episode of Hobby Side Videos, this is a actual video response to Venturella. He actually posted a new video for Warhammer for his Warhammer Weekly show. Basically, he's talking about like what does your hobby space look like today. So because of that, we're doing a quick little review video for that part, where we're talking about exactly the workspace that we use to create all of our materials here for Commander CheapSkate. We'll talk about specifically about our hobby area and how we go about making things in our studio. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this on a roll. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about our workspace. As you can see here, we're just kind of like in my studio right here. We're just taking a look at my workspace that we have. We were talking about how exactly we go about storing miniatures and how we go about painting things. As you can see, my work area is pretty much like everybody else's work area, and that it's a complete disorganized mess. There's just a little bit of chaos going on here, and talk about how everything kind of lays out real quick. So let's go ahead and just talk about how our workspace works. So first of all, as you can see, we have a office here, so there's the door that leads to our office. Right over here is where we store our tombs, battlefield terrain that we use for our Necromunda battle reports, and then here's basically where our workspace is located at. It's pretty simple, really. It's just a cheap plastic folding table that we got, I think, at a Walmart is what it is. As you can see, we got just two real cheap desk lamps to provide lighting. We just use like real basic materials like super glue and regular glues and things like that. We got miniatures here that we're painting up. To make that happen, here's my paintbrushes and palettes and rags and things I'm just using to paint up on. Right here is some cheap sheet magnets that we found from a local little convention that was going on, so we grabbed a stack of those. Just a ceramic coffee mug for a watering pot there to kind of fix that up. Up above it, of course, we have our corkboard that we have. Corkboard that we have there is just kind of like our what we use to kind of put on our schedules we're working on right now, and everything's kind of down right now because we're starting to plan out for next year when we get back from the holidays. Of course, we got that huge sign of Warhammer because Warhammer is life. Now, how we go about storing our materials is pretty much, as you can see here, we have two filing systems here. Just a cheap set of drawers mounted on a wheel frame. We have two of them, one here as well as one here as well. I think I got these at a garage sale is what I did. Yeah, I think I bought these at a garage sale. It's just real simple looking. As you can see, we got all of our paints and sprays and things, and just there is a method to the madness. It is madness, but there's a method to it. As you can see, just open the drawers here. We got spare bits and bobs in that drawer. We got bases and miniatures and things. And so through all of our drawers there, we got different types of miniatures in various states of being created and repaired. As you can see in these drawers here, we just have just where we keep our acrylic paints and Sharpies and things, and just bottles of paints and stuff. Just spare tools and all kinds of different things, and that's how we go about taking care of it. Right now, there's some sprues and some kits that we're putting together right now to create our work area, and that pretty much makes up our work area on this part. And so let's continue on with the tour of the studio. Alright, so up next from our little work area that we have here, right to the right of it, we have our storage closet right here. I have a little, piece of black cloth there, because originally I was spotting my desk lamp into the closet so that way you guys can see it better. But unfortunately, because my closet's kind of a mirror, it was kind of creating this really back shine back, so that's why I put my drop cloth there to kind of show you, like, kind of block it out. But as you can see, it's just a typical closet. It's actually very, very large closet, actually. As you can see, we got like a little shelving unit starting to bow a little bit from all the stuff that we have. But you can see on the top there, we have terrain kind of stationed throughout the top of there. The storage containers is actually what we use to store our various miniatures that we use for our various hobby parts that we use for our battle reports. We also got bins full of terrain and different things like that nature. We got some additional kits and things that we just kind of keep organized for our channel so that we can see exactly where everything is kind of located at. We kind of store here in the closet here right next to our workspace, so that way we can get to access it real quickly and just trying to like use that material to use for our battle reports. Because right behind us here in the main floor of the room of our studio, you see this huge space right here. That's where we set up our table for my friends and I to play our war games. This is where we basically kind of play this all out. It's right here in my office here, and we'll talk about exactly what that entails and where all of our parts and things are located at to create that. But yeah, that's pretty much how we go about storing our miniatures. I'm going to actually break out one of these bins real quick so that we take a look at that and you can see exactly how we store our miniatures and store them in our closet. So let's get that on the roll. Alright, now that keeping informed with our whole talking about how we store things, as you can see here, we actually have our table that we use. It's just a quick folding table. It's a white plastic folding table that we get from Walmart is where we got it from as well. This is what we use to make our gaming surface on. If you look back over here, in the corner of the office here, we have our MDF boards that we just have. They're 4 foot by 2 foot sections. Just kind of store them there in the corner there. We just put them on top of this table to play on is what we do, and they throw a tablecloth over and then put our gaming mats on, and that's how we play. Now what we're going to talk about now is actually how we go about storing our miniatures. So I have 2 sets of cases here that actually shows our miniatures being stored in, as well as one that holds our terrain. Let's go talk about that real quick. This is just a pretty quick and cost-effective method of just getting materials taken care of. In fact, these are just, you know, plastic containers that we got from Lowe's. So if anybody's interested in what we stored in, that's how we do it. So I'm just going to pop this one open real quick so that way you guys can see it real fast and how we go about storing it. It's pretty simple. Inside, we just take the lid off. As you can see, what we actually have here, we'll get these moving trays out of the way. We have all of our miniatures on a piece of MDF board, as you can see right there as well. Just a piece of MDF board. We attach little handles to the outside of it so you can kind of pick it up if you want to. And if you look inside of it, they actually cover the entire outside of it with sheet magnet, if you look real close. The entire surface is pretty much made of a sheet magnet on it, and then what we do is we put sheet magnet on the bottom of the moving trays, so that way it all just kind of sticks together and just kind of stays in one place, is what it does. And actually it is pretty strong. Let me see if I can pick it up real quick one-handed here. There we go. So you can see, it all keeps all the miniatures nice and secure, so that way you can keep it all inside that bin. They don't shift around too much. And as you can see here, pick up one of my miniatures here. You see we have a little, oh, that guy fell off because it wasn't glued on, but as you can see we just have a little magnet here. It just kind of stays on there and it'll be shaking around, and everything just pretty much stays where it needs to be at and doesn't go really anywhere. So that's how we go about doing that. We cut a sheet of MDF board to size to fit inside the container that we have over there. Cover the entire side with a giant piece of sheet magnet. Now the sheet magnets that we use are just the cheapest magnetic vent covers that you can find. Actually, let me see if I got a piece real quick. Let me put this on pause real fast, see if I can find that bag of that material real quick. Okay, I'm back. Unfortunately, I didn't have any spare pieces left over, but anyways, what it is, it's magnetic vent covers is what it is. It's nice and flexible. It's the same kind of flexible magnets that you see used for miniature basing and stuff like that they use on moving trays and things. Well, you can get a pack of 5, sorry, a pack of 3 for $5. They're huge sheets that you can use, and they're really, really cheap. As you can see there, I based all my moving trays and miniatures on this stuff, so that way you can transport really, really easily and not to worry about them kind of shaking around. It's a very, very cheap, cost-effective solution to storing your miniatures, and that's how we go about doing that. In fact, if I was to show you this other one here, let me take off the case there so you can see a lot better. You can hold quite a bit of miniatures inside of it. This one here holds our studio's Orc and Goblin army. And as you can see there, it holds quite a bit of miniatures and movement trays if you want to really fill it up. And it's just a nice, real easy, cost-effective way of storing miniatures real quick. You just throw your lid right back on top of it. The nice part is, like you saw in my little video earlier when you saw the inside of my closet, it's nice and stackable. Just a real easy solution to storing a lot of miniatures. So now we're going to talk about how we go about storing our terrain real quick like. Alright, so when it comes to our terrain, most of our terrain is kind of stored inside these bins as well. We've got these huge plastic bins to kind of keep everything stored in for obvious reasons, because you don't want your dust to collect on top of your bins. And as you can see right here from the top, we just have a bunch of packing, what you call it, bow wrap is what we do. So you can see we just kind of stack them, the terrain on top of each other inside these bins, cover over with bubble wrap, and just kind of keep them inside these units to keep everything packaged and relatively dust free. And that's how we pretty much go about storing our terrain. We just throw that inside the storage closet as well. As you can see, there's the mirror that makes up the outside of the storage closet. That was the one that was causing my light to bug out because it was shining the light back at us. And whatever terrain we can't fit in the closet, we just go put it over here on the shelf here. Yeah, sometimes it collects dust, but we dust pretty well regularly in the office here. We just dust up about once a week, so not to worry about getting too dusty or collecting too much dust. As you can see there, we also got our, our MDF boards located there as well. And as you can see, we have all of our binders and books that we use for all of our rules and for all the various role games that the various games that we play as well. We have some whiskey here to drink for afterwards, because you're over 21, partake. We got all of our geekery type of collectibles there as well. So yeah, that's how we go about storing our miniatures and our terrain for our wargaming space. So next up, we're going to talk about where we do all the production and video production for our miniatures, for our channel, and show you exactly what that workspace looks like. So let's go and talk about that next. Okay, and this is the area that we do our videos at, basically our video production areas. What do we use here for our studio? It's pretty straightforward. We got some Donnie Darko, The Office, as well as some Firefly posters to keep us entertained. As you can see, it's just an iMac that we use to edit our videos with. We record our audio using a Yeti Blue microphone in order to do that as well. That's just a tumbler full of water. You see there's just an office desk with a keyboard. The keyboard we use is just a Black Widow keyboard that we use, because it lights up blue and it looks really, really cool. Over here on the left-hand side is where we kind of store the rest of our equipment at. As you can see, we have our 3 game mats that we use for all of our battle reports. That's just a suitcase that we use and the tablecloth we use in order to transport that stuff. Here's the printing and the dice that we use, templates and additional lights and things. There's a poster of the Battle of Serenity Valley because that thing is epic. Same thing with Cannon Beach, Morgan. And yeah, that's pretty much makes up the space that we use and how we go about using our hobby space to make our videos. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. And also check out a look at Vince Venturella's channel. He brings up a lot of good hints about how to make hobbies, videos about hobbying as well, how to paint miniatures. He does Warhammer Weekly. He's a really awesome dude. So feel free to check out his channel too. And as always, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe on our channel. And check us out on Facebook, Google+, as well as Instagram for all the latest greats what we're doing for hobby. That's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. You guys stay classy. I'll see you guys on the flip side.